right, marketers, grab your overpriced standing desks and that oat milk latte you love so much, because welcome to Notorious B2B, the only show where we treat LinkedIn drama like breaking news and expose the real B2B marketing sins.
Yeah, think of us like SNL meets TMZ, but for the people who argue about whether gated content is still a thing or not. I'm Task Bober, B2B landing page nerd and lovable troll on LinkedIn.
And I'm Tim Davidson, the guy making TikTok-style videos and cutting fruit on LinkedIn. Together, we're cutting out nonsense and roasting the most ridiculous trends in B2B marketing.
Because if we have to suffer through another 10 things getting engaged taught me about B2B sales, we're taking you all down with us.
Let's get into it.
I wore 2 chains today just for you, Taz. They're fully out.
Okay, please, can we tell the story though?
No,
I'm 100% going to tell the story. No, yeah, so we're going to tell the two chains story.
Okay. So here's what happened.
No, I thought I did.
No, this is bullshit. It's my story.
Okay, true. I'll tell mine after his version.
So I show up to Drive last year and I'm meeting Taz for the first time. And she goes, "Oh, you have a shirt on. I didn't know you wore shirts." And I was like, my brain was like, fucking Anthony Pieri. Flashback. First time meeting Anthony. I am at a dinner for user evidence and I'm hanging out. I'm just doing my thing. I have on a black shirt with a tan shirt under it. Chains are out. It was just one chain, but it was like a 10 millimeter chain. Like it's a thick chain. It's got opinions. And I was just doing my thing. But he's at the other end of the table and he and I are both loud and kind of characters. But we didn't actually talk. And at the end of the dinner, he comes up to me and he goes, "Dude, for at least half of this dinner, I didn't think you had a shirt on under the black shirt." He thought I was just fully like open chest with chains the whole meal at a crowded restaurant in front of people. And I was like, "You didn't think to like bring this up at any point?" He's like, "No, I was just letting you roll with it." And then this guy goes and apparently has told a ton of people.
A ton? Well, he just told me, which I guess is the gateway to a ton of people. But
yeah, well, he also is the internet's little brother. So he's definitely told a ton of people.
No. So then what ends up happening is I get a message like either the night of the event after. I'm in Columbus, Ohio, just minding my own business. Okay. Didn't even know this was happening. And Anthony goes, "Yeah, I think Brendan showed up in like a net shirt with chains."
Just out of nowhere?
Yeah, well, because Anthony and I just banter back and forth in general. So like,
no, but like what? He just texted you like that?
Yeah, he just DM'd me on LinkedIn.
He's just texting people about the status of my chest, apparently.
And he's like, "Yeah,
it was not
dude,
a net shirt. It's just
he's just. I mean, it wasn't that abrupt. Like he sent me a message and he was like, "Yeah, I went to this event. I got to meet Brendan." I was like, "Oh, I love Brendan, whatever." And he's like, "Yeah, he was wearing like a net shirt with chains on." And I was like, "Hell yeah!" And then I said it in a group chat with other people. To which then Lachey Lewis at the time, she was like, "Oh shit, I can't wait to go to Drive and Brendan's gonna show up like Ty Dolla $ign." And I was like, "That's the best." And this was before you and I were even friends, had talked any of that, because that was my open line.
You came in on like 11 though, because why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't I? You should see how I send connection requests. There was one guy that we met at Spring and I was behind him in line while he was making tacos or whatever. And I was like, "What'd you put in there?" And then finally he's like, "Okay, yeah, add me on LinkedIn." And then I sent him a note saying something like the hottest marketer in Ohio or something like that, because we were talking about it. One of my friends, Graham, is always like, it's like dumbfounding the amount of fucks that you don't give when you talk to people. I'm like, everybody's the same. Why should I treat you any differently from anyone else? Right?
Low bar.
No, he said, "This is the best connection request I've ever gotten." Ha, ha, ha. Very funny. Listen, 14th largest metropolis. Brendan's heard me say this.
Are you standing? Are you standing right now?
I am standing today. I'm feeling very...
I can tell.
Like,
is that a treadmill behind you?
What?
Is it a treadmill?
No, it's an ottoman.
I thought it was laundry.
It's an ottoman.
Yeah, this is a kind of a procured room. I mean, we all have procured backgrounds, but yours is a little different. I have the shittiest background. I'm out.
Yeah, you got like VHS tapes back there.
But his camera quality is like top notch though. Like it's always like you're in a freaking studio or something. Like I need some like moody vibes like that. This is actually like my closet.
That's like a staged room. Looks like a house for selling.
It's the cleanest room in my house.
The door looks small though, I will say.
Those are double doors. That's a closet. It's a closet.
Okay.
It does look like some Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
So.
It's a closet, but if you open this, there's just a bunch of laundry right outside. Just on the floor.
All right, Lee, cut that out.
No, don't cut it up. Put it in there. Put it in there. I want people to know the reality of
the drop off.
A mom would say, what? Okay.
It's like 7 minutes in of just nothing.
Yes, we are excited. We have our first guest.
The Hufford Post.
Hopefully a reoccurring guest because you have lots of opinions.
We'll see. Tim off.
Fist him up. Like I said yesterday, he's just a prop. He's just here because I need a co-host. Right, Tim?
You're not wrong. Yeah.
Okay.
And my Zoom license.
He just brings you back to focus a couple times during the episode and that's it.
Yeah, it's just someone to rattle off or
Spiral
talk
off
over
into the
me
atmosphere.
or whatever he wants to do. Okay, B Huff, you want to give an intro to who you are for people who don't know you, like we know you, other than the 2 Chainz situation?
My name is Brendan Hufford. I run growth sprints. I help software companies scale from 10 to 100 million in revenue, primarily through short, focused content marketing sprints.
And what is your LinkedIn
Could I say
persona?
that any less enthusiastically?
I know. I was like,
Oh, that was perfect.
yeah, we don't do free plugs here. Tim always tells
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, yeah.
yes.
Don't even just pretend.
Yeah, Brendan's our first sponsor. I'm just kidding.
God.
Okay.
Because he drinks at Starbucks.
Sponsored.
Okay.
So,
Brendan, what would you say is your persona on LinkedIn? I've called you a few names before, lovingly, like vigilante or something to that effect. But
Oh, I don't know.
What do you think it is now?
Semi-angry Midwest content dad. Like, I don't
love that. Amazing. Tagline immediately.
Midwest.
Yes, he's in Indiana. We're like neighbors. So before you shit on Ohio,
yeah.
just know where
I like
B Huff's
Indiana better
sitting.
than Ohio.
No
Indiana's
way.
basically, Tim, where I live in Indiana is basically upstate New York with no hills. Like, that's what this is.
Yeah, it's no good. Just flatland.
Just
It is. It's actually
that is
terrifying.
Ohio too. Okay. So the reason I wanted you to come on is you and I obviously text each other a lot. We have lots of problems with lots of things on LinkedIn. And one of them is this comment gating thing that we talked about like episode 1, which is people asking you to comment some dumb thing like comment ding dong for this like mediocre guide on some shit.
Well, it's good. People don't say ding dong. Let's give it credit. People say like growth.
Yeah, but I'm just
Please,
saying placeholder.
pipeline.
That's my placeholder word. Okay. We don't need to be
Ding
very
dong.
specific
This
here.
is Facebook.
Yeah. Although ding dong would be a lot more fun. I would say something like ding dong, to get something.
People would think you're joking though. You're getting no leads that way.
Yeah, my joke leads. But something that spurred it again yesterday is that like Hockey Stack does this and he's done it before and there's like 7,000 comments on it.
Yeah.
But Tim, like you sent me someone else's and it was like 7,000 comments on it. And we're like, there's no way they're actually sending this asset to all of these people. And then you had some additional commentary on just like the pipeline numbers and things like that. So I want us to discuss.
Well, that's 2 separate conversations, but
Where do we go first?
some of these go crazy, by the way. Like, I don't know. I don't understand. Like 7,000 comments, even if half of those are you commenting, that's 3,500. And I saw this recently where, because you have like a connection limit. It's like 30,000.
Yep.
So if you continue to do these, what are you doing? Like you can't connect with everyone.
Can't.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
thought
It's not
that.
about that. It's not about actual connections. It's just
No, it's not.
impressions.
Well, the connection is
go-
just so you can send it. I mean, that's why, unless you have like actually, I think you could send in-mails, but
Yep. Well,
Okay.
imagine you're the CRO of a company. Do you have the time? I said the same thing to Kyle Lacey. Like you're
He's done it.
CMO or CRO. Like, how do you have the time to do all those? Because it's not just doing it. The whole process sucks. It's not gated content because gated content is I want it. I give you my email. You give me the thing immediately.
Yeah.
The time difference makes this totally different. It's a disjointed process that, Tim, I know you have like actual data on this. Majority of time doesn't even happen. They don't even bother because they don't give a shit about this being a good experience for you. It's just about them getting the impressions, getting the brand exposure, getting whatever. 7,500, you're a CRO of a company, you get 7,500 comments. There's no way, like you said, you can actually connect with all those people. You're definitely not keeping track to make sure earnestly everybody's actually getting it. That's what everybody says. Like that's the defense of it is like, oh, but we're actually seeing it through and it's actually good. First of all, good is usually bullshit. Most of these suck. Number 2, most of these claims are people talking straight out of their hind parts. There's
You can
no
say butt
way.
on this.
There's
You can say
no
ass.
way.
you can say ours.
You're usually pretty buttoned up. I think you did say
Yeah.
one curse in a recent episode.
He
and I was
did.
like, oh, he let one out. All right, cool.
I know.
It's
I
like
know.
a PG-13 movie. You can say it once. You know,
It's
Well, I
like
swear
15.
like almost every segment, but like I told him the reason it's marked
Okay.
E is because of me. So yes, feel free to swear.
he's saying until Q4 of last year, we were 100% reliant on inbound. So they recruited him who built multiple $100 million pipelines at Carta. And now we're saying since Q4, we have done this. this new thing. $74 million a year in pipeline from outbound. First of all, this is the most disjointed fucking writing I've ever met, because we bounce from how much we do a year to how much this guy did at Carta to how much now has happened since the end of Q4. Like none of this makes sense, and it isn't meant to make sense. It isn't meant to be readable. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to go hard at Amir, but like this is all bullshit in this. 29% cold call to meeting rate. Fucking bullshit. There's no way you're doing this volume of cold calls and you're getting 30% show up meeting rate. There's no way. And there's also no way we're doing 15 meetings per. I mean, when you math this out, it is utterly, and I know, Tim, you've done this too. This is utterly insane claims. And also how much of that $74 million a year in pipeline is actually closing. I don't know. I have no idea, because it can't be that high. Here's the other thing that bothers me. 8,000 comments. This is not, and like you're showing number. I'm embarrassed for the people who are thirst trapping this shit. Because here's the thing that drives me crazy about it. I fucking love Alina.
I know.
She doesn't need this playbook. She just doesn't. She's a great operator. She's running a really good company. And also, like when I see people like Alina and Leslie Vanetz, who I also like and respect, when I see them, they're doing this because of the FOMO, the fear of like everybody's getting the secret. I need the secret too to keep up. They will not receive this in their inbox. They won't. There's no way all these people receive it, because it's about like, imagine this. Imagine I'm inviting both of you. Tim, Taz, you're coming to a party. I'm inviting you to a party. It's the best party. All your favorite people are going to be there. We're even giving away cars to everybody. We're giving away Teslas to everybody who attends. Call back.
No, not the Tesla.
Right. Giving away Teslas to everybody who attends. But to come to the party, I need you to right now open up your phone, and I need you to text 40,000 of your friends to also come to the party before you can even see what's inside the party. But I'm going to let you know it's great. And I'm going to make all these insane promises. There might not be Teslas in there for everybody. Because what if 8,000 people show up to the party? I don't have 8,000 Teslas. This is the analogy I'm making, because that's how insane this is. That's the difference between like gated content. Can you imagine gated content like those old giveaway apps where like you would have to like us on Facebook and you could like get more points to get more giveaway entries? That's what this is. You're asking me to promote an asset that I've never seen to all of my followers, and you're probably still not going to send it to me. And I find that to be fucking predatory. I don't think it's right. And I've done this before and it works. I can tell you, I'm 100% fucking certain all the people I sent those assets to did not become customers.
Never
did
bought
not buy anything from me. Like these types of things, again, are just, and then I guarantee the post comes in the next couple of weeks about, another engagement rants and comment gate post about how many impressions this post got and how to steal this strategy.
And Tim and I talk about this.
Like we're just Ty Lopez at this point. Like,
ooh, that's rude.
Tim,
we are like we're in our garages with our Ferraris, and it's like, or whatever it is. Like
brutal.
But
Tim and I
B2C behavior.
Like we have talked about this too. And it's like, yeah, there's no way these 8,000 people are getting it. So what they're essentially doing is going through the 8,000 comments, only cherry picking their ICP. So honestly, Alina might get it. Alina might get it out of all of these people, but the rest of them, it's like, hey, thanks for promoting it. See you later. See you in the next one. And then the other thing is a few weeks from now, he's going to just reword the post and post the same asset. We've seen that multiple times as well.
So I'll give you an example. There's a person I follow that I really respect for social strategy. And they have a really bad habit of commenting on a certain person they work a lot in e-commerce. So there's a person that's like an AI educator. That's like their headline. And every single post they make is comment gated. Every single one. And this person comments on every single one of them. So I like them. I read their newsletter and all this stuff. I unfollowed them because I just don't want it in my feed. I don't want to see you commenting on all of these LinkedIn thirst trap posts over and over and over. It's embarrassing. There's another VP of marketing at a really cool tech company. I've also unfollowed that person because I don't want to see, and I've specifically said, like, click the 3 dots. I don't want to see stuff from them anymore because they comment on all of these, and it's embarrassing that you're out here begging for all of this information. Like, especially as an executive, especially as somebody with an audience, like I don't want to co-sign this shit that I haven't seen because now my audience is going to come and comment on it. Like I'm not co-signing your stuff I haven't seen. And this quick scroll through is just like, what is that proving? Oh, there's a lot. Like the other hook that a lot of people use on these is like, I spent 712 hours analyzing this. Like, tell me you're bad at time management without telling me you're bad at time. Like, why does that make it more valuable for me that you spent a shit ton of time on this? Also, I know you fucking made it up. Like, I know you didn't spend
or you used
90 hours analyzing YouTube videos. Like,
let's be clear. It's not about, I mean, that scroll doesn't matter. It's 29% cold call the meeting rate.
Yeah.
That's like demo request for some companies. That's like demo request like held.
The wild
inbound,
claims.
By the way. That's like 30% inbound.
Warm inbound.
Yeah.
And you're saying that you're just cold calling people and you've also automated 90% of the process. And like, it's just, and also how many people can replicate this? You're paying for Clay, Zoom Info, and 25 other things apparently. And you're showing all your internal metrics. Like if you pause this scroll image, like
you can't.
If you start looking at it, it's really
generic.
And that I guarantee if you guys look up, if you Google hockey stack, outbound, whatever, that's probably what they're going to send because that's what they've been sending out is a blog post. Oh, here's this blog we wrote about this that we wrote. Like what? 8,000 people are commenting and you send them a blog or a shitty Notion doc. Like none of this is proprietary.
I mean, to be fair on that, the strategy now, obviously there's bad apples for everything. And the strategy on that, if you make a blog post, right, and it just gets no distribution, like why does it matter? But if you can use this and get it like distribution, so I get why you can use a blog post in this. Yeah, I would assume it's kind of ungated on their website and all that. But if this is like the distribution strategy, then that's great and you can get it to everyone, which it's not to say that Amir isn't trying, but I've commented on a lot of these and I'm probably unfollowed by Brendan now. But I have.
But you were doing it for research.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that. Like
he knows it now.
Yeah, now you can follow me back.
He can follow you back. Yeah.
VP of marketing. You were not the person I was talking about. But like, if you read this stuff, it's like, oh, here's our tech stack. It's all the things like being promised here, and like, but it's vague. It's just, oh, then we automated the list build, and then we did this, and here's the mistakes we made, and it's like, I'm not saying this is what gets sent out for sure for this. My point is there are. And I know you bag on like the carousel bros too. I like the carousel bros as long as it's good because it's up. The value is up front. I'm giving you an asset and it's downloadable. Like they're documents, you can keep them. I do hate the carousel bros that are like, here's how to build an SDR team. And the next one is like how to do a PL. Like they're just like taking whatever's hot on Reddit, like that. Those guys on Twitter that just used to repurpose the top Reddit posts and be like, look at my audience. And it's like, dude, you're writing Reddit posts, that sort of shit. That's dumb. But like, I do appreciate a carousel because it also ticks all the engagement metrics as well. It gets you the distribution. They're spending dwell time. They're engaging with the post. Like you're getting clicks, like all the things that LinkedIn needs to see. I take a hard, I don't want to say ethical line. I just think it's bullshit to ask somebody to promote something before they've seen it. And then if it goes great, if it goes bad, people have a good experience. Oh, 12 people commented. I made sure they all got the thing. That's a good experience. They got it quickly. If it goes great for me, it goes bad for you.
Yeah.
Incentives could not be more opposite.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like this.
Yeah. What sucks though, is the metrics are real. Like, if you think about it, like as marketers is just people that create content on LinkedIn. We don't put the link in the post because it gets kind of shut down by LinkedIn. Or we don't do certain things. But like even like Kyle Lacey, like who I think is a very upstanding guy. Like I've met him once, so I don't know, but
Indiana dude.
Yeah, there you go.
We're gonna keep this the theme.
Like I know he's done it before, and he even put like in one of his posts some data, and like the ones he did do it with got like 112,000 impressions. Another one got 204,000.
If you're a VP of marketing and somebody and your team member comes to you and is like, look at all these impressions I got next month. I got all these impressions next month. I got all these impressions. You'd be like, you're fucking fired because we don't pay bills on impression. But we defend this with like the number of impressions, which I get. That was his, like, this works. But it works for me, not my audience. And I don't like tracking this through to close one feels really dicey, especially for the brand cost you're paying, which is that smart people think you're kind of a douche. And I don't know that that's worth the trade-off.
It waters it down quite significantly. I mean, the metrics are great, right? Like we love when we all write on LinkedIn. We love when we get that dopamine hit of these high numbers, but you're making a promise that you don't deliver on. And that's like standard shitty marketing.
It's so reductive. Like learn to be a better writer. If your shit isn't going viral, maybe it's just not good. So you resort to a tactic like this, where it's like, it doesn't have to be accurate. The experience doesn't have to be good. I can overpromise and underdeliver because I'm gaming this versus, I don't know, getting better at writing.
Yeah.
Making a video that's more engaging, designing a really cool, interesting carousel that people share in Slack to each other. Like, I don't know. This is, again, like reach over resonance too. Like this isn't resonating with anybody because they're not getting it. But then they've forgotten because they don't care. They're like, whatever.
Or if they do get it,
then
if they do deliver on great content, they deliver on the promise. You try it twice. One, you don't. You get 8,000 people see your post. Another one gets 204,000 people. You deliver.
What's your data on how many people deliver on this?
Oh, I don't. Well,
you opted in for a ton of these. How many delivered?
Yeah, I did. It's very low. It was last time I looked, it was like 5 of 29. So it's very low. But I'm a one-person company. Maybe I was not.
You're not the ICP.
Which is also a bad rep for this. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
And I've done it. I've done this. I just want to be like really clear. It's just before anybody's like,
when did you do it?
I looked.
Yeah.
Oh, I did the same thing. Like back in 2019, I did like 20 of these.
Damn.
I was up on this shit, dude. I'll pull. I can probably find them right. I can probably find them right now. Like I could go in my my analytics and see like these are my best performing posts for like quite a while. And I thought it was good. I made landing pages for it. I even did the shitty thing where you're like, hey, thanks for commenting. Here's a link to go put your email in too. Double opt-in. Now I got you to promote it and I got your fucking email. I'm not even going to DM it to you. Double gate it, bitch. And I was an asshole. Like that's
trapped your ass.
Experience. Because then I followed up with everybody. I went, hey, how was it? What'd you think? Was it good? Was it helpful? Will you give me a quote about it?
Oh, I mean, at least you're following up though. I feel like, that's actually.
I wanted testimonials about because to build up the landing page. I was going to make it like, this was how I got initial distribution to then make it like maybe a paid asset in the future. And now I have all these testimonials and like, bro,
no, that's next level.
I came up in online marketing, like in the fucking dicey, sketchy world of shit.
But you did do some things that I feel like these people are not doing, which is following up.
I hate it. And I'm better at this than that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You've done it. You're better at it.
I come with more arrogance on a Thursday morning. Jesus.
Funnels world? Like, was that like the ClickFunnels time?
In ClickFunnels world, where's all the freaking yes?
What you're talking about sounds like the ClickFunnels where you make the fake Forbes page.
Bro, give me all the books, dog. I even got Alex Hormozy's old book, Gym Launch.
Wait, you and I like Alex Hormozy's books, though. We've talked about this and gotten
love an old original Ryan Holiday, Confessions of a Media Manipulator. Like, yeah, dude. I lived in that world and I will defend these books. These books are great. If you don't understand marketing, these are like foundational. You just have to immediately unsubscribe from the email list, but they're great. But yes, I came up hard in that world of life.
I mean, okay. So you're doing some things like you're following up with them. You ask them what they thought of the asset. Whereas like, they don't give a shit what you think about the asset. They're giving this to you. So they kind of lure you into this like conversation or whatever they're trying to do and say, oh, it's pipeline because you commented cold or whatever, which I think already improves the experience if they ever did that. But they're definitely not getting through to everybody. They're picking based on their ICP. And then
maybe if they're even going through
if they're even doing that,
who are you paying to go through 8,000? Like, I think like
one of his 5 SDRs, right, Tim?
That's how you get a 29% book.
But how are they managing all these calls, these huge amounts of calls? I don't know. I just think like they're not going to ICP that because you have to click into every single person's profile. Scroll down, see. And I did that too. I was like, fuck this. I'm not giving my playbook to other agency people.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not giving you, here's my content playbook so you can turn around and be like, this is mine now and this is what I sell. So I did that and it takes for freaking ever. And God forbid you accidentally bump something on the keyboard and the page refreshes. You got to start over.
Wow. This is like very specific pain. Like you have actually done this.
When I have done this and it's awful. It's also awful when it works. Like it doesn't feel great unless you're just like a heartless, terrible person to be like, oh, I just let all these people hang out to dry.
Okay. 100% hockey stacks like delegating that shit though. Like go through the comments, do this 100%. But Tim, you made a point when you sent me the message earlier and we saw this, right? And we were kind of talking about it between you and me. Can I read that comment you sent me in the DMs? Okay. You said 6 months ago, Amir had a post that said their outbound team did 1.16 million in pipeline in 1 month. Times 12, that's 14 million. They went from 2 to 5 salespeople. So the question is, in 6 months, did they increase it that much with 3 extra people?
That I don't know.
And more meetings. They 3x the meetings, but but we don't know show rate. We don't know how much this is.
That's a big pipeline.
And it's not, here's the thing, Tim, that pisses me off. It's not like their product tells them this. They know that. They know it's what fucking Hockey Stack does.
For those listening and don't know what Hockey Stack does, it is an attribution company. So they should be able to tell you all the touch points.
To this. Yes. How many people saw this, became leads off of it, this, that, and the other. Like they know all the way through closed one. And it makes me skeptically, I would love a little more transparency. You know all these numbers. Why aren't you sharing them? Because it doesn't fit the narrative, because it's not as attractive when you go, oh, we did a shit ton of work and it's only $100,000 in revenue. Like, I don't know. By the way,
I wouldn't even say it's really, I mean, Amir obviously is the one that posted that, but I'm more mad about these claims that you see all the time now. I mean, and I still say that it's wrong.
Let's be really clear. I'm not just trying to like snipe anybody specific, right? That's why I mentioned Kyle, like he's fucking dope. But yes, it is constant in the feed of just like, especially with the AI stuff, you can make the most insane promises of like, oh, the AI prompt that does this and does that. And people are like, well, I don't know what AI does, so it must do these things. Like, and then you get it and it's like, develop an ICP and you're like, fucking, I'm out.
Yeah. Who's replacing a 200K
marketing team? Oh my God, that was
also what a dumb, who is that? Is that like one employee? It's not a marketing team.
Yeah.
How do I get a team
one
for
director
200K?
level?
I'd buy that. I can get a whole team for $200,000.
That's not
bad. Paying their insurance and stuff. Tell me you have no idea what you're talking about, right? Like,
yeah. Okay. We talked about this a lot. We talked about.
I'm out of breath.
I know. I'm like, we've got him riled up. This is great.
I'm sweating.
This is great. This is amazing. This is exactly what we want. So speaking of filtering based on ICP, I want to revisit and circle back to applying or invite only events. So we talked about this a little bit last time. Exit 5's doing applications. Brendan has opinions on those, but also with the applications, the update from the Exit 5 ones are the people who didn't get approved did get an email from Exit 5. Actually, Tim, I don't know if I even showed you that.
I was accepted, so I don't know.
Okay. So
I just muted myself.
Now I have
wouldn't know, can't relate. Sorry.
Can't relate. We are so great. We got our thing. Okay, I'm going to read this email. Okay. Quick update on your Drive 2025 application. Hey, first name. Thanks for applying to come to Drive 2025. We have been reviewing applications and wanted to give you a quick update. First, if you haven't heard back from us, it's not because you have been rejected. As Drive and Exit 5 are evolving, we're finding we can provide the most value to in-house marketers. That doesn't mean we don't love our agency and fractional friends. We do. But we just need to find a balance this year with a small venue and limited space. That's why we're trying to have a mix of 75% in-house and 25% agencies. We think in-house marketers at growing companies will get the most value out of this event because the content, the speakers, and the breakout sessions are primarily programmed for in-house marketers. With that in mind, and given the limited space, we are also prioritizing marketers who are a bit further along in their company's growth. Those working on bigger teams or navigating more complex challenges. We're not done. There's more. Okay. Every marketing team has an ideal customer profile, and over the last year, we've discovered this is ours. I also want to acknowledge that we could have been more upfront about this from the start. I apologize that we were not more transparent when you applied. That said, we value the agency, consultant, and early stage marketing community deeply. Many of our closest supporters and contributors come from this world. Also, for next year, we're already searching for a bigger venue so we can open things up to more people across all company types and sizes. We don't want to exclude anyone. We just need to prioritize our ICP this year to make sure the event delivers the most value to that group. But we do have your name on the list, and we will keep you posted as more agency, freelancer, and small company tickets become available. Thanks again for applying, Dan. This is the email that multiple people sent me that they got who are still waiting to be approved to get in. And one, I'm I'll say this. I'm glad that they addressed it because obviously a lot of people had opinions on this, felt kind of slighted, that kind of stuff, because there are paying members who aren't in-house, who are still early stage marketers, that kind of thing, right? So it's not just you're getting rejected or not let in because you're a consultant. They're like early stage people, 1-person teams, 2-person teams that are getting like put on a wait list. So I commend them for addressing it. And yes, they should have probably addressed it sooner. Tim and I kind of talked last time that, you know, I don't know what the solution is because I get it. You want to put in money and time and you have sponsors you have to answer to, and you want people who are in your ICP to come to these events, and you want kind of this mix that you can control. But there are a lot of icky things that come along with that, meaning most of the speakers are 1-person consultancies that run their own business, right? Who these marketers are learning from. So why wouldn't you want to learn from other consultants, right? And then the other piece is a lot of content creators who are going to promote the event and talk about it and do all of those things. We're all solos running our own stuff because in-house teams aren't really provided the autonomy to post and share expertise like we do because we have no one to answer to. That becomes a situation. Now, so we know with Spring, they did an application process too, which last episode I said no, but then Pep made sure to correct me on that. So he did comment on my post talking about the Exit 5 thing. And he said, which I will share directly. Okay. So he said, first, we did do applications for Spring. We didn't approve B2C marketers and non-SaaS marketers. 2, pitchers are going to pitch, but Spring 1 was 50% consultants. Spring 3 had 15%. So higher price did actually make a difference. 3, Pavilion events have a lot of consultants and fractionals, and they also struggle with the same dilemma. So I said, okay, cool, thanks. I will definitely circle back on this in the next episode, which we're doing right now. And then we have, I don't think I have his post open, but Mark Huber from User Evidence just announced this, which is their biggest marketing bet, 100-person event. So the small event stuff we're trying to do, but it's exclusively for in-house B2B marketing leaders. They don't even want your ICs. They only want your leaders in there. To me, I love Mark. I love his posts. I love like that group. But the one thing I saw in here that screamed out to me was, hey, if you're not our ICP, you're not coming. We have to have the ability to sell to you. That is literally the translation of the post. Okay, I've thrown a lot of information about you, about applications, invite only, ICP screening, all of that stuff. Let's rock.
Okay. First things first. Regarding Drive, there was a thing that I flagged for them, which was I recently brought on an executive assistant and asked her to clean out my inbox. And I said, anything I'm not reading in my inbox, unsubscribe from that. I've subscribed to hundreds of email lists for every single client. I subscribe to their email list, the competitors. Like I'm doing that constantly. I'm like, just clean that out for me. And they did. One of the things they unsubscribed from was Exit 5. From their newsletter. The problem is when you unsubscribe from the newsletter in their system, it flags you can't send this person any more emails. So my application would have never gotten a reply if I hadn't flagged that to them of like, hey, don't know what's going on, but I have not heard anything about this. It's kind of a weird experience considering my face is the landing page.
Yes.
And I'm so flattered about that. My big, dumb, obnoxious laughing face is
with
like was like the featured, was like the featured image when you Googled Exit 5 Drive. Like that was the thing that was coming up. I don't know if it still is.
Yes, it is.
Like I was just like, hey, this is a weird experience for me. It's really like awkward. And like I'm like, and it's a great photo and it perfectly captures the feeling of the event. And I'm so flattered and I loved it. And if you were like, hey, Brendan, like, could we find a bigger fan of this event than you? The answer was no. I had the best time. I made friends for life, most of which are in these photos, and it's really cool. I had the best time. I can't wait to go back. The problem was I had to hit them up and be like begging to like, yeah, see, yep, laughing faces in the front row. So like it was a really good time, but I was like, hey, there's a gap in your system. Cool, get it. Small team, doing this for the first time, the app, like this type of thing. Totally get it. I think that also left a weird feeling for some people. I would also flag that like the first one was very community driven. It was summer camp. We loved it. Like I can still feel how warm it was, like sitting out there with the sun and like, you know, like it was the best time, but it was community driven. It was a community event. This is not a community event and that's fine. It's not my event. I don't get to decide that. I haven't said, like, I'm saying stuff I haven't said to them. So this feels shitty. But like you had a community, you could have asked about all this stuff before you launched the event. And I think we should have opinions in our marketing. I don't think we need to ask our customers or whoever about everything. But that felt weird. It's a big change in this. And like, I totally get the thing. I'll kind of wrap by saying like, I totally get the thing about not wanting a lot of consultants there. You mentioned this before, Taz, like the charging people $3,000 might actually make them more likely to pitch.
Yeah.
Because like I'm so vastly overpaying for this shit. And also if you're a consultant, $3K, I'm not trying to sound bougie, not a lot of money. Like it's not the blocker you think it is. You're just not going to get a lot of like junior level consultants that are just starting, and that's fine. I just think money as a barrier to entry is really shitty. Personally, I think it's kind of fucked up to do, especially when, like you said, they sent out a survey and said, who do you want to hear from? And everybody was like consultants. And then you were like, yeah, but they're not invited unless they're the ones we like. And then we're inviting them. And I think that causes friction, right? Regarding Mark's thing, like, I think it's great they set it up front. Yeah. It's on the thing.
True.
It's just like Pavilion CMO. I'm not invited unless I change my title, Tim.
Works.
It worked.
I listened to the episodes. Don't think I haven't listened to this. Okay. Watched it. And like, but like, I'm not invited to that. And I get it. It's not for me. And I think part of it is like, I don't think it's only people they want to sell to, because there's way more efficient ways to sell than trying to get 100 brilliant people in Wyoming at the same day and time. Like it's a really inefficient way of doing this and a big risk to make that. So like, I don't know that it's that. I don't want to speak for anybody specifically, but this whole like in-house thing, you know, I remember I mentioned this to a while back. I was like, he's like, everybody can make money on winter. And I'm like, well, I'm on winter to answer surveys and I haven't gotten a single one. And he's like very, you know, in his way, lovingly, was like, that's because nobody wants to hear it, what a one-person consultancy has to say. They want people doing the job. And I said, you're dumb, because if you think I don't have any in-house experience to share, or Dave Gerhardt, who is a one person running DGMG, doesn't have anything to share, or either of you don't have anything to share because you're now doing your own thing, that's really short-sighted. I'm being very polite right now. That's very short-sighted. Polite. Like the idea that like consultants don't have anything to add is also the reason why every single speaker is a consultant and almost none of them are in-house marketing leaders. So it's weird. You're like, these are the experts to speak, but you can't attend. So it's, I think that's the thing for all of it. It's just, it feels contradictory. It feels contradictory, but let me ask this, which is something we talked about. I'm fucking really monologuing. In the last, oh no, you're good. You're good. That's what this is for. But in the last episode, I did say this, which like, you know, people think I work at Exit 5 because I love them so much. I do so much for them. You know, they take care of me, you know, all of these things. So I have no complaints about them. I'm very close to the team. So my devil's advocate hat is like, how would we solve the problem? Like what, if we were them, like, you know, what would be the solve that would make everyone happy? Because you can't ultimately make everyone happy. So what would have been like a compromise? Just like the first come, first serve, you're going to get consultants who are like, you know, that's what happened last. I don't know what the mix was last year, but like you're going to get made a community that is a lot of consultants because it's just B2B. Like make a community that's only. So I have a community called All In, and it's only in-house marketers, and I'm the asshole because I quit my job. But I made it when I was in-house at Active Campaign. Because I didn't exist. There was no only in-house marketers. I didn't want to answer questions about getting clients. I didn't want questions. It muddies the waters too much in terms of value. I was like, I only want in-house people with in-house problems. But when you've made a community that is open B2B and is both, it is hard to say, we're happy to take your money for the community, but this event is only they are not saying this, but that creates some of this confusion. Yes. So if that's your ICP is only in-house, make that the community. Make that everything. Make everything only applicable to in-house. Make only your speakers in-house. Make only, like that is one fix, just to be ruthlessly aligned on all of that stuff. But like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still applied to go to Highline. Like, I don't know. I'm still like maybe I don't get in. I don't know. But like these things it is challenging. And I think people are aiming at the wrong target. Like this is not this whole episode has been about gating shit. Gating things inherently, like it's not the right mechanism for this. Raising prices or doing an application and cherry picking isn't the right mechanism. We need to go way back. Like you're trying to optimize super down funnel ads And it's like, then you're wondering why they're tanking because you haven't done anything to actually build genuine demand in 4 years.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's like, we can't retarget. You can't optimize zero. They're focusing on the wrong stuff. They're focusing on the end. And it's like, let's go way back. And fundamentally, if we want this to be true of our event, we have to rethink who CXL is for, who Winter is for. I'm sure most of people that use Winter are like there's a lot of consultants. Like how many times do you have to message test when you're in-house? Versus a consultant, I'm using it for message testing everybody.
For our clients. Yeah. Yeah.
Way more valuable, right? And that's actually most software, SEO tools, SparkToro, audience research.
Yep.
Way more valuable when you're having multiple clients.
And you have the reps and you have access to all of these companies that you're trying to help in this one process. You brought up a really interesting point that I didn't think about before, which is I think Exit 5, the initial ICP was just anyone who's a B2B marketer, whether you're in-house, out-house, whatever the case may be. We're all paying members, right? That's my favorite.
I know I heard you say that in a previous episode. You call it outhouse.
I call it outhouse. We're all in the outhouse, you know, which really does feel like that now with events. It's like y'all are outside, go the toilet outside. Do not pee in our house. We were the initial ICP. Like if you were a B2B marketer and you could pay for the...
So there's eyes during this. I feel bad for anybody that's only got it on audio.
I know he does. He's just like constantly baffled by the shit that I say. But now I think the ICP is shifting a little bit, which is they want those big ticket sponsors and like they want the CMOs because that adds credibility to the event. So we're kind of pivoting from like lower ticket members where our ICP now to higher ticket, actual events, actual sponsorships, that kind of thing.
Sure. Which I get, but the fix is maybe
communicate that.
Maybe it's not today, but it's let's go earlier. Let's go earlier in the process and make our webinars only fit for this. And that's, I think X5 is doing that really well. They have CMO Club now and stuff. They're kind of moving in like a Pavilion direction. I've heard good things about Pavilion's CMO stuff. I can tell you from my experience, the individual contributor thing is an absolute joke. And I would recommend nobody ever pay for that ever. But just my experience, I don't want to have to talk to 3 BDRs trying to upsell me to cancel. That's crazy. I also don't appreciate when my credit card gets declined because it's out of date, that you brute force keep trying dates and whatever variations until you go through again.
Oh, this is dude.
Yeah, I'll give you all the tea with that shit.
I noticed some companies doing that. It's crazy. I don't know how they do it.
Like I saw they were like, oh, your credit card's out of date, re-update it. And I'm like, well, I'm going to cancel anyway. So I'll just let that go. Yeah. And then 3 months later, the billing starts again. And I'm like, you're literally sitting there trying months and dates over, just brute forcing it until you get through. Or that's what I'm assuming is happening on the back.
That is shady.
And then there's no button. There's no button to cancel. You can see it in ChargeBee, but you can't. There's no way to cancel. So finally, I just started emailing Sam. I'm like, how do I cancel? And then the BRs, the canned BDR responses of like trying to upsell me shit. Anyways, Exit 5 is not that.
Yeah, it's not.
And
that.
it's not been my experience. I've had a wonderful experience in there. I just think you have to take a step back and be like, everything is for this ICP now. We are not, and it's not. We don't have to gate it, because there's just no value here for you. And if we get any wind of you pitching, I do this with All In. If anybody's pitching, banned. I don't give a shit. You're out.
Yeah.
You can hang if you're cool. I have a bunch of friends in there they're just happy to be in there and share their expertise. They were in-house for a long time. They're great marketers, but everybody else, like, you got to go.
Okay. Question then, because Tim, last time I said, okay, then you can do this like segmentation thing where, Exit 5 has the CMO club, maybe they just have like the consultants like summer camps, because like I hung out with mostly, other solos and consultants at Drive. Like those are my people. That's who I talk to on LinkedIn a lot. I hung out with a couple of in-house marketers. I mean, Brendan, you and I hung out at like breweries and stuff. We had one person who was in-house who sat with us at that table, Grace from I forget. Yeah. And so she was the only in-house person who was with us. Everybody else was that. Tim said that would never work. I'd never go to a solo or fractional only type of Drive event. I totally would. If you guys were going, I would totally go. That's my crew. What do you think?
I go. No, I think about it. I think I changed my mind.
Yeah, convenient.
I think it would just be different. I think it would just be different. I've been to like an agency only event before. It was weird. This was like 2018. So
it's weird because you're also like, it would be like, we're going to a AppSec application security marketers event. And you're like, we are all working at competing companies. This is kind of weird. The three of us don't compete or anything, right? And even if we did, fuck it. But like, that is weird because then the whole thing is about like how to get clients and keep clients and stuff. And some of
all
us
the talks around that.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm good with all that. I would rather talk about like what's going to help my clients, which is only at these events too. So I might go to hang, but it would still be weird. I just want everybody. Like I want to be able to hang with my community.
B2B
Again,
marketing.
like when it's couched in community,
Yeah.
you built community. And community is not audience. Audience is me to you. Community is you all talking. I'm just here as a facilitator. I'm
Yes.
the lights on and the clubhouse open. But when you've built real community, people get pissed that they don't get to go hang out with their friends.
Yes.
That's hard. That's like a
Yeah.
hard situation to be.
I mean, it was an emotional roller coaster for me last week because I was like, people were texting me, which they thought that, I worked there. But I was texting you, Brendan. I was like, are you going? Devin, Charlie, are you going? Like, you want to know, I'm making this trip. Like, I have kids, okay? I don't go to every single event there is. I look forward to like 2 or 3 events a year. Like, that's what I can get away with now with a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old, okay? Without putting my family out. So when I go, I want to hang with the people I want to hang with and my peers. Like, to be honest, and maybe this is just me, I didn't even look at the speaker list. I saw, okay, April Dunford, Jen, whatever. I'm like, cool. I could sum up all the topics we're going to talk about
and whatever
in 3 sentences, right? You're going. And the reason why we loved Drive last year was we hung out a ton outside of the actual talks. And then the actual talks didn't feel like talks. It was like, Devin's up there swearing incessantly. Like,
I love that
fun.
like Dave was on the mic half the time.
On the mic.
Yeah.
Interrupting and bantering. He kept making founder mode jokes the whole time. It was A+.
Community.
A+. But now do you think that Dave's going to do that with April Dunford on stage?
I do.
You think he's going to interrupt her?
I think he will.
You think he's going to interrupt her and say
I think he's
founder
going
mode?
to interrupt Ryan Holiday. I think he's going to interrupt Holiday.
Okay, the 3 of us are in
And
as
now
of
listen,
now.
Dave's
They'll probably
out.
kick us out after this, but I would be very interested to see this.
So one thing you mentioned, Brendan, was like, oh, if Exit 5 kind of brings everything back, like they take it back. It's like, oh, only for SaaS marketers.
It's a problem, you guys.
What is this?
Really like Ryan Holiday.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I got his
Brand
eyes.
huge Ryan Holiday
on
fan.
my body. You ready to watch me go fan?
Oh.
Want to see me get really weird?
Where is
Just
it?
wait.
Where
You
is
have a
it?
Ron Holiday?
Oh
Wait,
yeah,
what?
I have like Amor Fati and Memento Mori tattooed on the inside of my forearms, like stuff from Obstacle. I've written for him on Daily Stoic. He crowdsourced a class set of his books when I was a high school teacher. I was like, I want to teach your shit to my students. He's like, all right, cool.
Okay, guys, big
Interesting.
fake out here. This
You're gonna, no, I'm gonna be need to
Ryan
be
Hall
restrained. It's gonna be
promotion.
bad. I know, but I don't know. He might interrupt.
I think he
people.
will.
You got to figure out the flow of the event. Here's the thing. I just think it's going to be a different event. And it sounds like the third one is going to be different than the second one. Because it's going to be bigger. That's fine. I think it's just, everybody's got to be cool with like, Dreamforce is always Dreamforce and Inbound is kind of just Inbound at this point. Mm-hmm. These smaller events are not going to be that. They are not going to be the same every single year for the most part. I think they will change because again, like speakers the first time was a lot of community people. It was a lot of like smaller speakers, and some people speak a lot, right? Like there's a couple people that like do a lot of talks.
Yeah, like
but it was
Ross.
also, like Natalie was up there from Nevadic and Lachey spoke. Like, it was a community feel, and it was vetted based on who had been on their podcast. This is not that.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just different.
Yeah.
It's only second as one. You gotta give them a little slack. You can,
and that's the thing too. I think we're also seeing them learn in public, which is cool for me as a marketer. Even though I'm the first one to get like super salty about shit. I am, like I said earlier.
Also,
like, my face is on the ad, and I'm waiting 2 weeks to hear if I'm allowed to come again.
Oh yeah.
You opted out though. I mean,
I did. I was like, but again, like that's just them learning of like, oh shit, there might be people who really want to come to the event, but for whatever reason, Gmail said you never open this Exit 5. Do you want to unsubscribe? And they're like, yeah, cool. Just prune out a bunch of stuff. Like they never thought it would mean that they couldn't receive an invite to an event.
Is that like for anything though? Because I feel like if you unsubscribe from something and you just can't, if you like sign up for something, you don't like opt in.
No, because there's multiple checkboxes. There's like just regular newsletter marketing related content.
Or just like,
I got
an event application that's not running through the same system. Like just,
I gotcha.
Send those,
it's like a backend thing.
Yeah. Anyway, okay.
Automation.
Last one on community before we sign out, because we have 3 more minutes. Speaking of Pavilion, there was an interesting situation this week. I don't know what the origin story is of this post, but the CEO, Sam Jacobs, posted, Was it you?
No,
Oh my
No, I
God.
didn't
I
post
know
this.
the origin though. Yeah.
You know the origin? Okay,
Yeah.
you can maybe provide some color. But all I saw was, and now I love this because now stuff is coming to me. Someone actually DM'd this to me and said, this would be perfect for Notorious B2B. So thank you. Shout out. But Sam Jacobs wrote this pretty long rant on here. And I don't know, Tim, if you want to summarize it. I read this like 3 times and I'm like, I don't fucking know what's going on. But you
still
read
don't
it.
get-
I usually read it. Come on, let's do it.
Oh, I'm so bad at this. All right.
Oh, that's why you make me do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just add it in post.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got it, Ted. Let's see what you got here.
Okay. So I've been working on Pavilion for 9 years and coached thousands of go-to-market executives in the process. For us, it includes marketing, sales, customer success, and rev ops. We were created and exist for one reason, to help those people achieve their professional potential. We all know the statistic. The average tenure for a go-to-market executive is 18 months. I created the community to change that and to help those people lead rich and fulfilling careers and lives. To the extent we have a policy position at all, it centers around the rights we endorse to help go-to-market executives achieve career goals. That sentence reads weird. The Bill of Rights includes, this is the fucking Constitution. Listen, the right to due diligence, to severance, liquidity, aligned compensation, and to consult and advise. That's it. We teach people about the modern dynamics of go-to-market because that's what's necessary to keep your job. We'd be negligent not to. If you're a marketer and you think go-to-market engineering is a bunch of baloney, I'm sorry. Take it up with the market. Shake your fist at the thunderclouds. If you're a CRO and you're angry that your boss is asking about unit economics and not just approving your bloated headcount plan, I'm sorry. Yell at your spreadsheet. Shout at your TV. If you're a CMO and think life was a lot more fun before anyone knew what demand gen was, if you're mad you think everything is short-term focused, I'm sorry. I agree with you. But we still have to teach our members that reality because people will get fired if we don't. Pavilion doesn't have a policy position on the importance of brand versus demand gen or whether the CRO or CMO should own pricing. We have a policy position on making sure you are protected, that you know what's going on, that people in seat, actual operating executives can share what they're seeing from the front lines. That's it. If the way the world works is deeply upsetting to you, get in line. I agree. Life is unfair. And just when you think you know what's going on, a bunch of annoying people go off and invent 50 new acronyms and make you feel small. But please don't blame that on Pavilion. Pavilion exists to help you lead a long and fulfilling career. That's it. If you're hating on that, talk to your shrink. You've got more important issues to deal with. Okay. Actually, now reading that out loud sounds a little bit aggressive.
A little bit.
But what's going on there? Give me some color, Brendan.
Clark and Liam have rightfully taken issue with people treating marketing as go-to-market engineering. Like we're just going to run the whole fucking thing out of a spreadsheet and optimize things.
Yeah.
And not, we've moved away from marketing fundamentals. We forgot about like the 4 Ps and like all this other stuff, like basic marketing. Like there's a generation of SaaS marketers who have no marketing fundamentals. They don't understand buyer psychology. They don't understand even basic tenets of copywriting, like things that move people to take action. They think the thing that moves people to take action is, for example, let me force everybody who tries to leave through 3 BDR calls. Let me brute force credit card approvals. That because it moves the spreadsheet because fuck brand, right? And like they don't realize that has lasting consequences and influence, right? Like had I had a great leaving experience with Pavilion, I'd be today saying that. Like still love them, wasn't for me, etc. But now I had this terrible experience, but we're just go-to-market engineering this. And again, we're trying to optimize zero. Sam's point is I'm Wayne Gretzky. I'm looking where the puck, not looking where the puck is. I'm looking where it's going and I'm trying to help my members get there. Got it. I feel like the other camp is saying, you are the one putting the puck there. You are teaching people that the puck is going there and forcing them in that direction. And we're losing a little bit of the soul and fundamentals of marketing. And I see both sides. I totally get it. I think that some of the savior complex that exists on LinkedIn, I would let's look at that one statement. We all know the stat, 18 months, right? My community exists to change that. Have you?
Yep.
Have you? You have made a tremendous amount of money. Have you? I don't know. I would want to see if you have. And if you have, then that gives you the credibility to do this. And there's a lot of shots in here, right? About like, trying to take shots at people making up phrases, taking shots at people like people on the front lines, actual operators. Same thing we've been talking about. Like if you're not a current CMO, you don't know anything anymore. Okay, sure. Right. I think that Liam's comment that you're showing here Can I read one?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Cool. Liam Maroney comments, Sam, I love you. This is a bad response to criticism, especially if you're a marketer and think go-to-marketing engineering is a bunch of baloney. I'm sorry, take it up with the market, shake your fist at thunderclouds. He said, you might be confident in the go-to-market engineer idea, but discounting those who don't isn't a good defense. Pavilions filled with well-meaning good people doesn't mean it can't be challenged for what it teaches, given its reach and influence. Being trained to do the kind of marketing that doesn't get you fired right now doesn't mean you're teaching good marketing. Brendan point. I think that's a great point.
Oh shit. It could just mean good politics.
Good politics.
Mic
If you're
drop.
doing a job not to get fired, that's different. And I think that's a valid point. Anyways, Liam continues to say, I disagree with a lot of the concepts of the go-to-market engineer movement, similar to the way I challenge the demand creation movement. I know I'm far from alone in that effort. I disagree because they conflict with marketing theory, not because I'm shaking my fist at thunderclouds.
Dang. He's like a fucking poet. Can we just take a moment?
It's ridiculous.
It's like insane.
He's
how
very,
he talks.
Liam writes slowly and thoughtfully.
B2B philosopher.
Yeah. As opposed to me, where I
yeah.
write like 7 responses and delete the first 6 because it's chaos, right? Not that anybody could tell from this conversation. I think this is a really important discussion to have. It's not important that we get an outcome from it. It's important that we continue having the discussion, that we continue saying like the world of software marketing is very weird. It is a little insular. It is not just B2B. B2B is way bigger than software. But because we live in this small world, we think there's certain ways to do things. What's funny is we find over time that we're wrong about a lot of that stuff. When you look back and you're like, oh, the people who grew, the brands that lasted, right, were not the ones who growth hacked, who did this or that, or maybe they are. I think we find a little more truth in that. In the thing of like, we're just going to go to, first of all, what the fuck's a go-to-market engineer? Like in the same post, he says people who make up phrases to make you feel dumb presents a case for a dumb made up phrase. Like that's weird to me, but I get it. It's just basically like somebody who understands all these things. I would call this person a deep generalist. Right? Yeah. You're a generalist, you're spread wide, but you also have depth. You know sales, you know RevOps, you understand how CS works. You're also a great marketer, right? That's a go-to-market engineer. They're fucking unicorns. It's really hard to find somebody. And you know why it's really hard to find somebody? Because everybody who can do that is running their own business.
Yes.
Isn't getting invited to the conferences.
Boom. Wow.
Sorry. Got excited.
I
love that Tim didn't flinch during that either.
I know he didn't. I was like, yeah, let's go. And he's unfazed, which is why he's a good partner for me, because it's a good balance. But sometimes it's like, look excited, look alive. Come on.
What we didn't mention there is, Sam got really defensive after that. He said something about
Sam, well, Sam started saying, you just make up nonsense with your little 1-person company. I put food on the table for people. And I was like,
he said that to you?
He said,
I said to Liam in the comments. And it's like, and I'm not, that's just what he said. Everybody can read it. Right. But that's weird. That savior complex. Like, you've primarily put food on your table, right? Through this business, through Pavilion. Yeah. And respect. It's a business. Great job. Great job running it. You serve a lot of people. I know a lot of friends that love it, but you can't have a savior complex of like, I'm saving people's careers.
Like the altruistic and like, I'm doing this as like a charity project.
It's a slippery Chris Walker slope when you start doing that. So,
although Chris Walker is turning a new leaf and potentially
when you
will
see
be
the
helping
future
people
in time travel, you just
out of the goodness of his heart. So I will buy that course.
I feel like I'm going to get in trouble for this.
That's what this is supposed to feel like. I feel like I'm getting in trouble every day. It's fine.
I think when you move from like, hey man, we're arguing about really dumb shit on LinkedIn.
Oh my gosh.
Don't get that savior complex with me.
Yeah.
Like this is pretty silly.
It's literally a made up word, GTM engineering.
Well, you know who I heard it first from? It was when like Clay called themselves like GTM engineering, whatever. And I was like, oh, like a technical marketer? Like, what is this? And now I'm seeing it. Yeah. Like if you're a marketer and think GTM engineering is a bunch of baloney, and then you go down here and say, what do you say about like making stuff up? Yeah, it is contradictory. Today's all about gating shit and being contradictory. This is great. That's the theme.
I'll end by saying, just in case anybody wants like clarity, Hypergrowth Partners has a pretty good article on like what a go-to-market engineer is not.
Okay.
It essentially just says growth engineers, go-to-market engineers with a technical counterpart to the growth marketers, right? Building technical solutions to solve go-to-market use cases, looking for efficiency and scale.
That's so it's like if it's So it's like a growth marketer and RevOps had a baby.
Yeah,
in
and it's a
one
lot of
person.
like, we're just going to solve this stuff with automations and code and take a lot of like previously human processes that are very inefficient and just make this flow better. And there is a lot of stuff. But the idea that we're going to be saved by efficiency, and I think that's Liam's contention, is that people still have to have a favorite. They still have to feel a way. They have to feel emotions to purchase. You can't efficient your way and optimize your way into that.
Yeah, into like generating or capturing demand or whatever. Like no matter how efficient you are, you're not going to create a desire or consideration for your product without the marketing fundamentals. Okay, I'm sweating. This has been like an intense episode, but like a good one. It's only been Tim and I just speculating and making up shit. So this is great to have a third person. It's not made up because we're showing receipts, but like our opinions and our speculations are 100%.
Yeah, no, you both deserve somebody to take the heat off you a little bit. It's all right.
Yeah, seriously, it was great. You did that great in the beginning, especially with the comment.
It was bottled
just
up.
coming on. This is why I was like, Brendan's a perfect first guest. I didn't even ask him. I texted him. I asked you first. You said okay. I texted him and I said, Brendan's coming on tomorrow. Send him an invite. Yeah,
You're like dealing with two unhinged crazy people.
Amazing. All right, Tim, we'll give you last word.
Me?
Yeah.
Wow. All right. That's it.
That's it. Later, skater.
Peace up, A-Town.
Peace out, A-Town. And that's a wrap on Notorious B2B, where we expose the nonsense and remind you that most B2B marketing is just a very expensive guessing game.
Don't, and post a passive-aggressive LinkedIn poll about it. We'll still find you.
And if you have B2B drama we should cover, slide into our DMs. We accept screenshots, leaked internal memos, and questionable brand rebrands.
Until next time, keep your marketing unhinged and your LinkedIn bio free of the words growth hacker. See you later.
Later, skater.